What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy Chef. We are back, and you already know what time it is. It is time for episode number 55 of the YAK Pod. Now, we got a little bit to get into today, but before we do that, let's go ahead and handle that business. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and subscribe. Hit that little button down there, smash that like button, turn on your notifications, and do the whole sharing thing, because when you do that, it gets the algorithm on my side. It looks down upon me favorably. And if you enjoy this content, you want the algorithm on my side. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Recently, the list of attendees for the NFL draft in Detroit has come out, and it's a bit light. I think, well, actually, you know what? I don't know if it's light. We don't really generally pay attention to the number, but obviously, since they're coming to Detroit, we want to know how many people are coming to the city. It is going to be 13. Now, obviously, all of these attendees are not someone that's going to be on the Lions draft board, but let's go through the list of attendees and we'll pick out one in particular to see if he will be a Detroit Lion. Terrion Arnold, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison Jr., J.C. Latham, Laitu Latu, Drake May, Quinyon Mitchell, Malik Neighbors, Rome Adunze, Darius Robinson, Brian Thomas Jr., Dallas Turner, Caleb Williams. Now, there are a couple names on there that I would love for them to be Detroit Lions. Obviously, Dallas Turner. Now, if you guys have been watching the pod, you should know already that I am in huge favor of Brad Holmes moving up to grab a Dallas Turner. And if he is there at 9, we're picking at 29. We moved up 20 spots to get J-Mo. We've done it before, especially if he's there at 12, because you already know we love picking at 12. We picked J-Mo at 12 with that trade up, and we picked Jameer the Electrician Gibbs last year at 12, trading down from number 6. Now, the person that we are going to focus on today is one Terrion Arnold. Now, Terrion Arnold will be in attendance. He's the first name that I read off. Terrion Arnold is a very, very interesting cornerback. Out of the top prospects, obviously, he is the best one in the draft. He is the most versatile. He can do a lot of things. He can even return kicks. Terrion Arnold has a knack for getting his hand on the ball. He has a knack for locating the football. He has a knack for separating the receivers with from the football, whether that's through hitting, ripping, swiping, punching, all of the football. We're not talking about anything violent as far as his character. He's played all of these positions. He's played nickel, corner, slot. He's played safety. When you watch him on the field, you can see that he can actually play safety. He can actually play center field. The way that he locates the football, the way that it comes to him, he's always around it. He's always finding it. If he's not intercepting it, he's getting a hand on it. He's very sticky in man coverage. Why are these things important? Versatility is always important. Versatility in football players is something that coaches around the league covet. Why? Because you can do many different things and you can put players in many different packages. If you're talking about a rookie coming in starting at corner, well, does he have to start at corner? He doesn't have to start at corner. He can come in and get his feet wet. He can come in and be a nickel corner, or he can be a safety. He is very, very willing to tackle. He does not shy away from tackling. He comes up and run support. He will tackle running backs. He will tackle receivers. I've seen him take on big quarterbacks, and if he can't get you down, he's going to hold you up until his teammates get there. So I've seen him do many different things. I've seen him blitz. There isn't really anything that I haven't seen him do on the football field. And he does all the things well. And this is why he is thought to possibly be a Detroit Lion. Now, will he be there at 29? Absolutely not. I don't know the future, but I can tell you that he absolutely will not be there at 29. So now we have to look at what are we comfortable giving up to get a Terrion Arnold. I don't know what I'm comfortable giving up, because Brad Holmes has his finger on the pulse of all the resources that he has. He knows what he can give up. He knows what he wants to do in the rest of the draft. And obviously, fun fact, if you didn't know this, teams start reaching out to other teams before the draft. Generally, trades come together before the draft. They may be confirmed during the draft, but they start calling people and talking and gathering trade partners. That's just how it works. So whatever you're saying, like when you see a draft pick that has gotten traded, that wasn't the first time that they spoke to that team. So when we traded up to get J-Mo with the Vikings, that trade had already been discussed before. It didn't just come together there. If you think about it, it doesn't make a lot of sense for it to just come together there, because you have to understand the compensation that the other team would like to have, what they're going to accept, what do they think is going to be reasonable for you to move up or for you to move back, whatever the case may be, so you can make that trade. It's just the way that it works. So I'm not a big mock draft guy. I've never actually done a mock draft. But if we look at someone like a Mel Kiper recently has had us taking Kool-Aid McKinstry at number 29. Obviously, mock drafts that are done by the major networks do not account for trades. They're just going to give you who they're going to give you at the pick that you're at. I honestly don't believe that Brad Holmes is going to be staying at pick number 29. I just don't feel like it's going to happen. I feel like there's going to be fireworks in day one. The draft is in Detroit. Brad Holmes is a cornerback snob. That's what he said about himself. He said just because there's a lot of guys that are in the draft, and maybe some of them are projected to go here, there, and other place, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily good. So if Brad Holmes feels like he has identified a guy who is really good, like a Terrion Arnold or a Quinyon Mitchell or whoever else he deems to be the guy, look for him to move up. Again, I am on the trade up for Verse, trade up for Turner type of train. But after watching Terrion Arnold, I wouldn't be mad if he was the pick. I definitely would not. I think he is probably the best corner in the draft based off of the things that I have seen him do. And like I said, he's played all over the football field. So he's very comfortable in wherever you take him. So if we look at the draft order, we have number 1, Chicago, number 2, Washington, number 3, New England, number 4, Arizona, number 5, Los Angeles Chargers, number 6, New York Giants, number 7, Tennessee, number 8, Atlanta. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even see a number. Anyway, so number 10 is the New York Jets. Number 11 is Minnesota. Number 12, Denver. Number 13, Las Vegas. Number 14, New Orleans. Number 15, Indiana. Number 16, Seattle. Number 17, Jacksonville. Anybody in the chat or if you're watching this later on, let me know in the comments who has number 9, because I really do not see it. If we're looking at the needs of these teams, it's possible that Terrion Arnold doesn't go in the top 10. And I don't think that there's a team in the top 10 that is going to draft a corner in top 10. We have to realize a lot of these teams need quarterbacks. A lot of these teams need receivers. A lot of these teams need linemen. A lot of these teams need things that are not cornerbacks. And I don't know if you take a top 10 pick on a cornerback, unless he's like a Sauce Gardner or something like that. Is Terrion Arnold Sauce Gardner? He's not. He's not. Sauce Gardner was a shutdown corner. But then again, Devon Witherspoon was taken at number 6 by the Seattle Seahawks. Or number 5, sorry, by the Seattle Seahawks. And then that was the reason why we couldn't get him, if we believe that was to be the pick, as it was rumored. But I'm happy with the electrician Jahmyr Gibbs, so I'm not really tripping on the fact that we didn't get Devon Witherspoon. Now we have the opportunity to come and get Terrion Arnold. So I'm just going to guess here. I'm going to say, to get Terrion Arnold, you would probably need to jump Indianapolis. So if you're jumping Indianapolis, you're going to trade up to number 14 with the New Orleans Saints. Now that is something that's possible. We have familiarity with the Saints, as we know. Dan Campbell came from there. Aaron Glenn came from there. So the working relationship may be good with the Saints. Trading up to 14 from 29. Obviously, you're swapping your first. I think the Jameson Williams thing, when we went up to get J-Mo, we swapped firsts. I think they got a second and a future third or something like that. Let me see. The trade for J-Mo. All right. So what we sent to the Minnesota Vikings to move up to number 12 to get Jameson Williams with the 12th overall pick, we gave up pick number 32, 34, and 66. All right. So we were 32 already because of the Los Angeles Rams winning the Super Bowl. So we had their pick. And then 34 was our pick, which was the second pick in the second round. And then number 66, which was in the third round. Or no, sorry, it was in the second round. 66 again? 66 is in the third round, sorry. Quick math. So we swapped firsts. We gave up a second and a third in the same draft to move up to 12. So obviously 29 is better than 32. Unfortunately, we don't have a 34 type of situation because our second round pick is going to be number 61 in this draft. So we might have to tap into future picks in order to move up to number 14. So if we're moving up to number 14, we're saying pick 29, swapping picks 29, 14. Let's say an early round 2. Well, we don't know what round 2 would be next year, so we could say round 2 next year. And a round 3 this year. So basically a round 2 next year and a round 3 this year to move up to number 14. I'm comfortable with that. Especially if you look at this team as being a team that's on the cusp of winning a Super Bowl. We're definitely contenders. We were definitely 30 minutes away from the Super Bowl. Some people like to say 5 minutes. Some people like to say 10 minutes. I'm going to say 30 minutes because that second half just wasn't what you want to do when you come out and play the way that we did in the second half, as a total team failure. In the second half of that NFC Championship game, I'm going to say that we were a half away. We were 30 minutes away. So if you look at this team as a team that has gotten better, I would say gotten considerably better in the offseason, free agency, regardless of what you want to think. Carlton Davis is definitely an upgrade over Cam Sutton. Amik Robertson is definitely an upgrade over Jerry Jacobs, Kendall Vildor, Khalil Dorsey, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. I mean, how many people did we have over there playing? We had the ghost of Emmanuel Mosley. He played for, 3 snaps, and unfortunately, he was re-injured. But again, I mean, look at Emmanuel Mosley. We're not going to count on Emmanuel Mosley because he hasn't played football in the last 2 years. But what we're saying is his rehab is on track. Not like last year where he was having setbacks and things of this nature, and then ultimately his other ACL was torn. That rehab is on track. So because that rehab is on track, we might be able to do something with Emmanuel Mosley. So now we have possibly 3 corners who are able to start for us. Definitely 2. Amik Robertson is still coming into his own, and last year was really the first year that he got an opportunity, and he did really well with that opportunity. So if you're considering that he's going to continue developing and continue getting better and continuing showing that he should be on the field, having playtime, that's a situation that you really want to have. So our secondary is considerably better than what it was going into the NFC Championship game. Our offensive line is better. Addition by subtraction. Again, I've never really been high on Jonah Jackson, and then the injuries were another situation. But if you're looking at Coyote was our backup guard, and we put up 150 yards rushing in the first half of the NFC Championship game without Jonah Jackson, right? So if you're going to look at Kevin Zeitler and you say, well, he's not as good as a run blocker as Jonah Jackson, well, neither was Coyote, and he did just fine filling in for him. Zach Zinter, we might draft him too. We might draft Zach Zinter too. But Kevin Zeitler, obviously he's a vet. Obviously he's a Pro Bowl guard. He's going to come in there and give you much better pass protection than Jonah Jackson, because let's be honest, Jonah Jackson was getting whooped in pass protection. He was not great at defending or protecting Jared Goff when he dropped back to pass. And now we've fixed that situation. And let's not forget about DJ Reader. I mean, DJ Reader is going to come in and instantly make the defensive line so much better. That's just what's going to happen. Double team whoever you like. You want to double team Reader, that's great. That frees up Hutch. That frees up Aleem McNeil. Possibly James Houston. Again, let's not forget about the problem. He has had a tremendous amount of sacks. He came in his rookie season and had 8 sacks in 7 games, which is phenomenal. Obviously, the season before that at Jackson State, albeit the SWAC, and I'm going to keep saying this, he had 19 sacks. He had 19 sacks in a season. In a college season where you play less games than the pro season. And he had 19 sacks. All right, so the problem is back. I'm pretty sure we know he's back because he played in the NFC Championship game. He played sparingly. But he's going to be a player that hopefully we can count on. Hopefully he'll get through the season healthy, and he will return to his rookie form. So we've got that guy who's going to also be freed up one-on-ones by DJ Reader. DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil clogging up the middle. Good luck running the football. DJ Reader is also a much better pass rusher than people give him credit for. He's just not really asked to do it often. or often enough to have the numbers that would show up, as far as like him making an impact in the pass rush. But he makes an impact in the pass rush even when he's not rushing the passer. And that's what you want. So now that we have someone like that on our team bolstering this defense, again, this is a roster where you can say, hey, yes, let's go up and get a Terrion Arnold, or let's go up and get someone, because we don't need a draft class that has all 7 picks or 10 picks or whatever the case may be. If we got 4 solid players in this draft who you could plug and play, or who are going to be depth right away, like depth right away, not projected depth, not depth that you have to wait 2-3 years for, no, depth right away, who can step in and be solid right away at depth. So when someone gets injured, we have a solid depth piece. If you can get 4 of those guys, just like Brad Holmes last year got Jahmyr Gibbs, starter, Jack Campbell, projected starter, Sam Laporta, all-pro starter, like, okay, Brian Branch, starter in the nickel. That's 4 guys. So if you can get 4 more guys, maybe one of them is a starter. Maybe Terrion Arnold is a starter at the cornerback position. Maybe he starts over Amik Robertson. Maybe not. Who knows? But if you get a Terrion Arnold, he's going to be on the field very, very soon. It's not someone that's, he's going to contribute in his rookie season, wherever you put him. You can move him around the defense, depending on how quickly he picks up the scheme. I mean, that's just a weapon that we can have. So I feel good about whatever happens. Just understanding that where this roster is, and us not needing a whole lot, because we don't need a whole lot. We can do a lot of different things. So let me know what you guys think about Terrion Arnold moving up for him. Do you think that will happen? Do you think he will be a Detroit Lion? Do you think he will walk across the stage in Detroit and hold up the new Lions jersey and also put on that Detroit Lions draft hat? If you agree with anything that I've said, let me know in the comments below. If you disagree with anything that I've said, let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you did not subscribe on the way in, I would appreciate it if you subscribe on the way out. If you did not smash the like button on the way in, it's not too late. Smash it on the way out. If you didn't share on the way in, it's also not too late. Just be the type of friend that tells another friend and share on the way out. And we are here every day, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, 10 p.m. Eastern, barring any technical difficulties. As always, until next time, peace.